What about buying a house for €1 in the south of Italy as part of your financial freedom journey? What's up everyone, my name is Joris, welcome back to my channel. Housing is one of the biggest expenses in your budget, often comprising of over 30% of your monthly expenses. What if we can cancel these costs out altogether by buying a very cheap house? Italy has been selling houses all around the country for over a few years now. These houses are sold for a symbolic €1 per piece. The only requirement after your acquisition to invest in the house and renovate it. In the last few years, smaller towns in Italy started selling houses that were abandoned by family members. They were sold at extremely low prices to attract new inhabitants. And in some cases it worked like a charm. Those smaller regions were being abandoned by the residents who moved to the cities to work and live there, meaning that the small towns all were left empty. The residents who left don't want to spend their money to fix up the house of their parents or grandparents, and they'd rather sell it for a symbolic €1. But to keep these towns alive, the houses are often sold to foreigners who want to live there or who want to spend their holidays there. In Sicily, for example, there is a town where over 100 Belgians have bought a house in the last few years. There are a few ways you can buy a house in Italy. Some towns offer the houses for €1, as said before, and they ask you to pay for all the legal costs, the notary fees and taxes, which can amount up to €5,000 altogether. And after that, the house is all yours. Most people start their renovations immediately. And with a limited budget, they have a great holiday home in Italy for a great price. Some towns ask a €5,000 security deposit, and you then have to spend €15,000 in renovations. Otherwise, you will lose that security deposit and you might even be forced to sell the house again. So the city will take it back if you don't do any renovations. But if the renovations are started and completed within 3 years after the acquisition, the town will then pay you back the €5,000 in security deposit. It does seem strict, but it is a very good way to ensure that the houses are sold and renovated and that the city, or the town at least, will regain a bit of its popularity. A renovation of €15,000 is not that much, so most owners will probably spend more than that, and thus making sure that the townhouses look better, and thus also boosting the allure of the town altogether. Other towns have had over 20,000 requests for only 2,000 houses available, so they decided to auction the houses. The most expensive ones were sold at €25,000 a piece. That's still not a lot. In other towns then, the town decided to renovate some of the houses themselves and sell them off for more. And often those houses are valuated at €50,000. But how can buying a house like this fit into your journey towards financial freedom? Well, there are a few ways actually, and we'll get to them right after you smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. If you are retired and you do not mind living in a remote town in another country, you can buy a house there. You can renovate it and then have a great place to live for less than, let's say, €100,000. All while the average housing prices in Belgium are over €200,000 and even before renovations. So in Italy you won't need a mortgage because €100,000 you'll probably have saved up if you are retired, and you are good to go. Maybe in retirement it's time to leave the busy life of Belgium behind and live in a remote place in Italy in peace. Or if you have a job that allows you to work completely remotely, or if you want to work and live in Italy, this is also a great way to change your living location. The weather in Italy is in general slightly better than it is in Belgium. You could also use the house as a traveling destination. If you buy a house in Sicily, you will always have a place to stay when you are going on a holiday in Sicily, and you don't have to pay for the stay itself. When you are traveling, especially when you have kids and when you are traveling with a family, you're quickly paying €250 per week just for the place to stay. Having a renovated house or apartment, you're obviously paying more than that, but you don't have to spend any money on the stay itself if you are there just for holidays. That way, you're also inclined to go there more often to your second residence. Friends of mine have bought a house in the middle of Tuscany on top of a hill with beautiful surroundings. It is completely surrounded by olive tree fields. The small town itself consists of around 20 houses and a church, and it was all abandoned after the Second World War. A few decades ago, the surrounded towns decided to fix up the residences and sell the houses off. Now it's inhabited by foreigners who use the houses as a holiday retreat. My friends go there at least 4 months per year now they are retired, so it's a great way to pass their holidays. But you can also rent out the fixed up house to generate extra income. You can either rent out a house when you're not able to go there yourself, or if it is big enough, you can set up an Airbnb business and entertain the tourists by showing them around Italy. The latter is something I definitely would do in a heartbeat. I think owning a house in another country is a very cool goal towards your financial freedom. Having a place to go when you're fed up with your current situation or your current location, or just as a retreat from the hectic everyday life, it can be worth a lot to have something out there just to go there once you need it. If you are able to find a property at a very low cost and in an area you like a lot, you should definitely consider to do this. Financial freedom is not per se about having enough money to do whatever you want. It's about having peace of mind, to not be worrying about everyday problems and have a place where you can be at peace. Being able to cut down your housing costs by 50% or even more will be of great importance for your financial journey. But of course, it requires a major change in your life. Even if your current house is fully paid off, you could always sell it and buy a cheaper house in another location. This can also be in Belgium, of course. The difference between those two values can be invested to achieve a higher monthly return on your investment portfolio. Or, if you do not want to invest, you can buy a bigger house for the same price and live more lavishly. And even in the best case, you can buy 2 houses, or a house that is big enough to split up. So you can rent out part of it to generate extra income. Or you can accompany guests, or you can accompany family. The possibilities really are endless. Living in Italy can be great, and you'll learn a lot. The Italian language may be a bit of a barrier, but if you're buying a property in a town where another 100 Belgians have bought their house, you might as well be able to communicate in Dutch or French. If you have enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like for the YouTube algorithm, and to subscribe to the channel if you've not done that already. Don't forget your weekly contributions to the savings challenge. We are now on week number 9, so there should be 45 euros in your savings account if you have started with 1 euro. I started out with 4 euros, so now there is 180 euros in my account already. You will see that the amount will grow faster and faster over time. Don't forget to adjust your spendings later in the year to make sure that you are able to keep doing all your weekly contributions throughout the year. Good luck to you. And if you want to learn more about the savings challenge, you can watch the video right here. If you want to watch more of my videos, you can always start by clicking one of them right here. I thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.